it's me, the M.E Goddess, signing in for a quick howdy doody. I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas and New Year. Christmas here we had a beautiful Christmas. Christmas Eve I was able to get up for a couple of hours. Christmas Day I was here, but family filed through ball crackers and things like that, read silly jokes to me, so that was really nice. Ever since then I've sort of taken a bit of a downward turn, and no outings for me, or I think I might have been able to go out once with the children for a short time to get spend their Christmas money that they got from people. That was nice, but yeah, there's no chance of me getting out anytime soon. Sort of having more of the flopsy daisies where my arms don't work. Honey had to feed me yesterday. I just couldn't. It was just too much. And getting from the bedroom to my chair, from my bed to my chair, to get through to the bathroom, just about did me in. And it's made me think about progression or regression, whichever way you look at it. And as we enter this new year, my mindset has really changed. Like, I'll probably never buy another pair of shoes because I just don't need another pair of shoes. I'm in a wheelchair. Shoes don't ever get worn out when you're in a wheelchair. And also with my clothes, I mean, I've kept clothes thinking, oh yes, one day when I get back into that. No, I've decided this year I'm going to get rid of everything that does not serve my immediate purposes, because the likelihood of me being able to wear those clothes again is 0.00001% maybe likelihood. And it's interesting preparing for progression. I don't even know which one it is. But how do I readjust my life to fit with the deterioration of my body? And then of course I'm thinking about my mortality, and I know there's not a lot of time left. And people may argue that, but you're not in my body. You're not having my journey, you don't know. My family and I, we do know. So, trying to set things up so that life and my needs and things are sort of the things that really matter are what is focused on, not the peripheral shit that we generally tend to focus on. So I started that process. My big sister's coming up soon. I'm really looking forward to seeing her and talking through some stuff, some important stuff. And then it's like, we could have a great big garage sale and just move on all of the stuff that nobody's going to want and things like that. So is that progression or is that regression? I don't know. This disease is progressing with avarice. Now, swallowing, especially with water, if I'm drinking water, I get all muddled up and end up just having to spit it all out. My throat just forgets which order things have to happen in. And I'll be sitting there having a conversation with the children that begins with something, and all of a sudden it'll be something stupid like, Oh, it's in the fire engine with the snorkel in the pool room, or I don't know, something stupid like that, and everybody just stops and tries to figure out what that is. My brain is definitely getting scrambled. I'm losing so many chunks of memory, and I'm finding that as I'm talking today, I'm well rested. I had 12 solid hours sleep last night. I'm still exhausted, but at least my brain's working, and so we'll take that as a win. But I'm finding I can't. I'm watching less TV, listening to less stimulation. Light is becoming a problem. If I'm feeling tired, we kind of have to go into twilight mode in the house because I just can't handle the light. It's like spears going through my eyes, and then my body just gets really scrambled. When I went to the hospital for my medical review a couple of years ago, which I've spoken in a previous video about, I started to the person who intern doctor in the emergency room who saw me first. I gave him a whole list of my symptoms, and you know, he was amazing. He really wanted to piece it together, and there is no piecing this thing together. I mean, oh, I've got stabbing pain in my left foot, but my right hand my left hand doesn't work, and my right hand, the wrist is very sore, and then this happens, and then that happens, and it makes absolutely no sense. It's like grabbing a whole lot of, if you had a jar full of M&Ms and each one was a symptom, and you just grabbed a handful and threw them up in the air and see what ones landed face up, you know, and just that's your symptoms for the day. And I can understand, but that's difficult. But that is the disease. This is what I'm trying to tell people. The fact that it doesn't make sense is part of the diagnosis. You know, we don't people suffering with this, or surviving with this, or not surviving with this, don't get up in the morning and sort of do a lolly scramble to choose their symptoms for that day or for that week. No. So the more we talk about this stuff, the more we can make it understood that the bits that you can't understand are the bits that tell you the story. So today I'm just going to have a quiet day. Honey's taking the children out to do some things, and I've got my water and my flask of drink, and I thought I would just pop in and say howdy doody. But I feel everything's getting harder, so I'm making the most of being able to speak. But the chaotic nature of this disease is part of the diagnosis. The hard thing is getting someone to listen long enough to figure that out. So I guess the disease is progressing, and I am regressing back to the basics. Breathing, sometimes eating, drinking. Life has all of a sudden become incredibly simple. So I'm kind of excited in a way to be tidying up all my stuff, you know, getting rid of my clothes and getting rid of the things that I just know I'm not going to ever get to use or need in the future. And it's part of my process, I guess, of trying to leave my family in as good a shape as possible. I know I'm not going to meet my maker overnight. A lot more has to happen to my body before I reach that point. But in the meantime, my focus, I guess, is, well, most of the bits of me are working at some point. Pick the days when enough of me is working to be able to start clean my house. Not my physical house, but my mental and emotional space. And for me, that means starting to accept and be a mum and try to make things as simple as I can for my family. It's not everybody's way, that's not everybody's cup of tea. And believe me, I've been sick one way or the other for 20 years now. And I've been bedbound for 3. And I've been really sick for nearly 6 years now. I've not taken this lightly. I'm just accepting that I'm tired. There's not a lot of punch left in me now. And I want to feel peaceful about that. So, this is just another little step on the way. Regression or regression, I don't know. I guess people with big paychecks, therapists, it's for them to work out. But for me, I know my body is regressing. This disease is progressing. I can't fight anymore. I've got no punch left. Occasionally I have a bit of humour left. Only if I have a spoon. But for right now, it's about documenting the fact that no, I'm not giving up, but I am accepting. And some days the pain is too much. What I've lost is too much. And I've only got a certain amount of time left to be able to set things up the way I want them set up. So, apart from that, it's a stinking hot, humid day here in Wellington. I've got my little fan going to try and keep me cool. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'll see. Most of me's not working, so I don't want to be left to stew in my own thoughts, because that generally leaves me quite depressed. So I shall have to. Maybe I could annoy my kids on Snapchat. That's always fun. Yeah. I think I'll do that. I think there's some Snapchat mayhem to be had. Okay, I'm signing off for now, and I will see you next time. Big hugs to all my fellow spoonies, and big thanks to everybody who supports a spoonie. Okay. Toodles!